I want to tell you a story. Let me take you back to 1983. We're in Glendale, Arizona, and we're at a high school just north of Phoenix. Inside the high school is a teacher, a middle-aged man who coaches softball and teaches English. He has dozens and dozens of students and players that he gets to know. One of those students is Carrie. She looks up to him. She trusts him. And over the course of the next 3-4 years, this teacher betrays her trust. He sexually abuses her, and he leaves her a different woman than she was before. Carrie struggles with depression, with anxiety, with illness. She asks herself questions every day. Why me? Why this? She has self-doubt, she's insecure, and she struggles building relationships. But through all of this, Carrie begins to come to terms with her past. And she finds that little bit of courage that was inside of her. And she pulls it out and she decides to stand up and to speak out, to see what can be done to stop this from happening ever again. And when she does, she finds out that it wasn't just her, that she wasn't the first or even the second at the same high school who was abused by the same man. And together, these women, now in their 20s and 30s, decide to do something about it, to file a case in hopes that they can take advantage of the civil justice system to do exactly what it was designed to do, hold people accountable. In 1993, Carrie is now 24 years old, and just as they think their fight is beginning, she gets into the courtroom and the judge says, "Stop." The judge tells them that their case is being thrown out, that the statute of limitations, the time period that was allowed for Carrie and the other survivors to bring a civil lawsuit had expired. Is that justice? If you only get one thing from this video, the critical message is that there is a new law that is passed in several states that allows a window of opportunity for survivors of child sexual abuse to bring lawsuits even if the statute of limitations has already expired. In Arizona, my home state, that window closes on December 31st, 2020. Because these dates vary from state to state and the laws vary from state to state, we're gonna spend this video focusing on Arizona's new law. So let's jump right in. In order for us to understand where we are now, we have to first understand where we were. Before the new law was passed on May 27th, 2019, just a few months ago, the statute of limitations for anybody bringing a personal injury case in the state of Arizona was 2 years. That is what the law was. That's what the law was when Carrie filed her lawsuit in 1993, and that's why the case got dismissed. But today, the new law, passed in May of this year, says that any victim of child sexual abuse now has 12 years from their 18th birthday to bring a civil case. That's until their 30th birthday instead of their 20th birthday. But it also says that anyone who was sexually abused as a child, maybe the abuse happened in the 70s or the 80s or the 90s or even 10, 15 years ago, those individuals still have an opportunity, a window of opportunity to bring a lawsuit even though their time has already expired. Some of you may be watching this and thinking, shouldn't this law have already been in place? Doesn't this make total sense with what we understand involving trauma and the people that go through sexual abuse when they're young? But the truth is that this has been a long fight. This has been a fight in many states all over the country that is still going on. It's a fight that continues to go on against organizations that don't want to be held accountable for the sexual abuse of minors. So while this is a win, it's a win for people in Arizona, it's a win for people in New York and New Jersey. There are still plenty of states in this country that still don't have these laws. So if you're watching this video and you're asking yourself, what do I do from here? The first step is to go to victimsofcrime.org. You'll find packets of information and other great research about what options child sexual abuse victims have in different states. The information will be state-specific, it's produced by lawyers, and it's designed to help you understand your rights. And second, find a lawyer in your area that practices in this area of law, who specializes in representing survivors of sexual abuse. Meet with that person. Ask specific questions about what happened to you or a family member or a friend, and see how that information may help educate you to make the right choice for yourself. Throughout this whole process, just know that if you ever want to reach out, my direct messages are open. I'm happy to answer any questions that I can and point you in the right direction. If these laws were in effect for Carrie, she would have been able to continue her fight and to find justice. So if you know somebody who needs the information that we've talked about in this video, send them the link. Send them the link to victimsofcrime.org and let them know that their window of opportunity is open. Thanks for spending your lunch break with me. I'm Kevin Binyazin. I'll see you next time.